Alright, getting closer to the end of the trail on day one. I went over my first pass, Hannigan Pass, and I'm going down into my campground. I don't know how far down it's going to be there. He's a fat boy. First little snowpack crossing here on the trail. Slippery. And a stream. Here's inside my tent at the end of day one. It's very beautiful. No chances of rain, so I'm going to try to keep the rain cover off and watch the stars and listen to the birds chirp. Alright, it's day two. I'm here at my campsite, drying my gear, just finished eating breakfast. About to get on the trail. And yesterday I did a 5-mile hike into this campground, and today it looks like it's going to be much longer. Could be up to 10 or 12 miles. So I'm going to set out early and keep a constant pace. Got my gear drying. When I went up to eat breakfast there, had my first confrontation with a bear ever. There was a full-grown black bear just eating in the brush up above our tents here, and he was guarding the food box. Not really, but he was right next to the food box. I had to scare him off. It was pretty intense, because he'd every time you'd yell at him, he'd just kind of look at you. He wasn't that concerned, so it made it even a little bit more nerve-wracking. But he slowly meandered away. I grabbed my food bag and ran over to the river and ate my breakfast. But hopefully I won't see him again. Hit the trail. Alright, day two morning, back on the trail. No sign of the bear from breakfast just yet. Unfortunately, I scared him off and he went down the trail that I am now walking. So now it's got me nervous walking this trail. But I think it should be fine. Look at the size of this tree I stumbled upon on the trail. It goes way up there. Alright, I've reached Copper Creek, my first little river crossing. Doesn't look very difficult, but It's pretty. Currently, the next river crossing will have cable cars that you gotta pull yourself across. That's gonna be pretty cool. Alright, we've reached the exciting part of the trail. We have to do a cable car crossing. So we'll climb up from here to there, get in the car, and start pulling on the ropes. The ropes will take me to the next side. See how it goes. Alright, I've climbed up. Now it's just time to get into the car. Alright, here we go. Long way down. Hopefully they built this thing good. Well, today's hike has been mainly down in the forest and through a lot of brush like this. It's hard to, well, it's not that hard to navigate, but sometimes you can't really clearly see the trail. Kind of like being in the forest though, because it is hot. When you get under these big trees, the temperature drops a lot, which is very nice. But I think it's day 3 and day 4 that it's gonna be a lot more alpine views. But I think the campsite tonight will be at Watacombe Pass, which should be pretty nice. Alright, about 2 miles from the campsite, coming out of the trees a little bit as I'm walking uphill. I get to see this awesome panorama. Not very good sunlight for the photo, but looks like we're gonna have a good campsite up here. Alright, I reached my campsite. Got a beautiful view here and got the whole campground to myself. Can't beat that. Might be one of the nicest campgrounds I've been at Watacombe Pass. It was hard work climbing up here. Gonna sleep well tonight. Alright, it's morning of day 3 up at Watacombe Pass. Today we'll venture back down the same trail and then head north instead of the southern trail we came up on, and we'll start our loop. Tonight's campsite will be at Bear Creek. Hopefully it does not live up to its name. let's play the Count the Waterfall game. I'm seeing one up there, a second one to the right of it, third one, a fourth one, a fifth one up there, sixth one to the right of it, 7, you have 8 over there, you have 9 in the distance, and we got a little one right here on the trail. Well, I've come down from the alpine views and back into the evergreen forest here, and should be like this till I get to camp. I'm not expecting any more alpine until tomorrow. Got a pretty neat looking bridge up here. Rickety bridge. I'm gonna put my cell phone away. Afraid I'm gonna drop it. Epic waterfall. Big old frog in that bush. Looks like he's a half foot. So I left the loop to go on down a dead-end trail that takes you to a one-person camp that I got a permit for. This trail is super unmaintained. I'm constantly questioning whether I'm on the trail or not, but fairly confident I am, because every time I question it, I come out of these bushes, and then I can clearly see the trail continues. There must be thousands and thousands of blueberries on this trail. And they might be huckleberries. I don't know my berries very well. But it feels like I'm in Jurassic Park or something. Exploring. And the camp should be here pretty soon. Bear Creek Camp. Lots of blueberries, one-man campground, and bear, potentially. Who knows? Let's see, where'd the trail go? There it is. Another tree on the trail. Gotta love trees on the trail, they're all everywhere. This tree stump's almost as big as I am. Try to count the rings on it. There's thousands and thousands of rings on that thing. Hard to believe. Here's the stump part they cut out. Man. It's like a dining room table. Well, I finally made it to the ominous bear camp with a signpost fitting the trail. You just come out. Looks like there's just one group site. Have access to the river, looks like. That's nice. Well, night 3. This is home. Alright, I'm beginning to be set up here at Bear Creek Camp, and I'm much more excited about this camp now that I'm actually here. It's very interesting. It's extremely secluded. It's 2 miles off the beaten path. There's no reason for any person to come down this trail because there's no other places for them to have a permit to sleep. And you've got this nice open tent area. You've got this big old gigantic river. I'll go down there and film in a moment. And yeah, we're about 5 miles from the Canadian border. We're just super secluded. This isn't something you typically get in a national park. So yeah, this is a good camp. It might not have the alpine views, but the bugs, I'm not getting bit by bugs, which is odd. Beautiful river. I'm gonna fall asleep pretty easy here tonight. So here's a better look at Bear Creek. It's pretty big, almost want to call it a river. Maybe it's just the time of year with all the ice melting. Right next to the campground is practically a beach. Can hang my food, cook here, just hang out, relax. Got 4 hours until dark, so we'll enjoy the campsite and then check in tomorrow. Alright, all packed up, ready for day 4. Survived the night at Bear Creek. Think I'm gonna miss this campground. Have perfect riverfront, tons of seclusion. Would have been nice to spend another day here and just set up a hammock and relax. But today won't be for relaxation. I have almost 13 miles to go today, the longest hike of the entire trip. And we'll be heading uphill into the Alpine, 5,000 feet or so. And we'll stay there. The next camp is supposed to be fairly pretty. It's up in the Alpine. And I'm going to stay there for an extra night. So I'll have an extra day there tomorrow. But should get some good shots on the trail today, but I'm going to be exhausted in the process. So, backpack's ready. Let's get going. So we got 2 miles left on this trail coming back out of Bear Creek, and I'll be back at the main loop, and I can take a right and go up to Copper Ridge. Dang spider webs. All right, made it back to the main trail junction. Ready to head up to Copper Lake. Copper Lake Camp says it's 7 miles away. Well, let's get going. Well, my trail comes out right here. So I get the feeling I need to ford this river. And that water is ice freaking cold. So, time to roll up my pants, take my shoes off, get going. Alright, I successfully forded the river. I gotta say that was extremely unpleasant because that water is so cold that it just makes your feet feel like they're on fire. And I didn't have any water shoes, and the rocks are just so painful on your feet. Oh man, I wish I had some water shoes for that. But I'm across. Time to find the trail. Alright, we've finally gotten up to about 5,000 feet in elevation. That was exhausting getting up here, but fortunately the clouds seem to have rolled in on the view a little bit. No big deal. We'll be camping up here for 2 days. Sure, we'll get some good opportunities to look at the vistas. Alright, here's Copper Lake. This isn't where I'm camping, but it is nice. Alright, one last view of Crater Lake before I turn the corner. So far I've gone up close to 4,000 feet since Bear Creek, which was at 2,000 feet. So this is close to 6,000 feet above sea level right here, and the stairs just never end. Up and up and up. Got some kind of creature here on the mountain. What's he doing all the way up here? Hey, you! Man, it is incredible up here. I have never seen so many different directions to film a beautiful shot. It's 360 up here. Alright, there's Egg Lake down there. My first look at where I'll be camping tonight. Alright, I'm starting to get set up here at Egg Lake. This will be my sleeping spot for 2 nights. And then on the 6th day I march out back to the car. This is a very pretty camping site here. There's Egg Lake right there. The trail I came in on is up there. And also got some views behind the tent. Gonna use my last day here as a relaxation day. Maybe try to set up the hammock. Maybe wander back up to that lookout tower. Take some extra videos. Should be nice and relaxing. So up there is the tower. And we have almost a full 360 effect. Pretty incredible. Alright, let's go to the tower. Alright, it's day 6. I've cleared camp at Egg Lake and hiking back to the car. Should be an easy 5 or 6 mile hike downhill. Excited to go find a shower.